Gel jeans, gel jeans, jelly beans, jelly beans, jelly jeans, jelly beans, jelly beans, jelly beans.
Make a smaller garment for the line and you still use the set on the other hand about that, yeah? For the race it's good, right? The stand for the garment weighs more than the garment.
When we spin back down for the last one, we can just go up to like the corner up there, turn around, then we got 2x8 minuters. Right, everyone's got 2x8 minuters today. Right, with a little bit of the heat, we just want to keep it a little bit more. 2x8 minuters. Alright, we're going to split into groups for 2x8. Alright, so Banks, Ben, Lewis. Alright, that's one group. Alberto's going to go solo. Alright, for the 8 minuters for the hills he'll join. Alright, and then Yella and Basco. Alright?
Not again.
Steady. Steady. It's gotta be steady. Alright, the girls will go Alyssa and Mel. Alright, then we'll go Anna, Tess, and Gemma. Okay?
Me too.
So again, 5x3 minuters. We start around here, up the hill, progression 1 to 5, easy back down. Alright, the last one we go up to the corner, then we start the 2x8 minuters with 2 minutes recovery. Okay? Alright, who wants to lead us off, boys or girls?
Are the hills together or?
The hills can be whatever. We can either start together, but it's more just progressing at your own rate.
Oh, he's ready.
Alright, everyone understand that? The hills we can start together, but progressively up to your own rate. Right, based on how you're feeling after the races, etc.
Uno más. Okay.
Yeah, I guess we should get Hamburg done first.
Yeah.
So the bike. How'd you feel about the bike?
Yeah,
Vasco was really pushy.
the bike was indeed like full on. It was a really hard bike. Indeed, Vasco was very strong on the bike and straight away and it was a new course in Hamburg. We've never done this one. And it started with like a quite narrow section. Well, it wasn't super narrow, but quite narrow section. It's like a shopping street that goes slightly uphill. And yeah, Vasco just pushed, and then we tried to do some work with him, which well, he did longer pulls, but we were a few of us that were really rotating. And I remember at one point we had a 3-man breakaway with Lasse Louv's, Vasco and me, which well, it just indicates how fast it was going. They came back, but we dropped quite a lot of people, I think, on our way to the first group. And also the first group rode really fast because it took us 4 out of the 6 laps to close like, because I think quite soon it was like 10 seconds. But to close at 10 seconds took me 4 laps, but because Vasco jumped a bit earlier, it took him maybe like 3.5 laps. And then there were people just when the gap was close enough, people were just jumping, and at one point I was like, oh, I have to go now. And on like the technical session, I closed the gap, and then had like 1 lap where it was kind of a little bit like easier, where you could recover a little bit, and then it was a lap trying to get position for the transition. So overall, it was like, yeah, the most watts I've ever done in an ITU race. I think I had,
Wow.
until we caught up, I had 332 normalized power, which for me, like,
Yeah.
61 kilograms it's quite a lot. And it dropped a little bit towards the end, but I think I still had around 320 normalized to finish the bike. So it was really like a full-on bike, and I wasn't too sure about how my run legs would feel. But then, yeah, I still tried to like set myself up for a good transition. Came into transition maybe like 5th or 6th or something, and came out of transition more or less the same. My feet were like a little bit cold, So it took me a little bit longer to get my run shoes on than normal. But yeah, I still came out of the one of the first with a small gap to the first one only, so it was good. Yeah. We do this session actually quite regular. We always go to the same hill, which is, if you go too fast, it's less than 3 minutes. So you have a little bit of flat at the top, which it's also fine. So we did 5 by 3 minutes, building 1 to 3. We started them in group, and then just built throughout those 5. Then we had a bit extra rest, but not that much. They just go down, go a bit further, and then it was 2 by 8 minutes with Vasco and me, and then the second 8 minutes also Alberto joined, and just rotating race pace, a bit slower than Hamburg race pace, maybe Paris race pace. Yeah, that was a session. It was it was quite warm. We started I think we started at 9 a.m. but still when we were doing the session it got quite warm, especially those 8 minuters. But I've actually felt very good, and I as I said, when you go fast, the hill is no 3 minutes, and it was not 3 minutes for me, so that meant that I was going quite well. I actually looked, I was 1 second slower than my PB on the climb, which doesn't say that much, it also depends on the wind and stuff, but power was good, so I was really happy with that session, and it was the first session after Hamburg, so it was good that it showed that I was recovered from the race and that I was ready to do some intensity, so yeah, it was a good session on Thursday.
Can you describe the progression from 1 to 5, the hill reps?
We started, I think just over 300 watts. Did 300, 320. Then the third one I was sitting in the back, not in the front. We did a little bit. I think it was around 330. And then actually the gap increased a lot. It was 405 and 445, I think, the last two. So then we pushed a bit. Yeah. And then the 2 by 8 minute was, I think it was 310, 311 for both of them. But yeah, it's a good pace. Probably will be similar to Paris watts. Although Paris is a quite easy course, so really gonna depend the group dynamic. I think a bit, if it's two groups racing against it or trying to bridge up, it will be quite hard. But when it's one big group, it will be, I guess, quite easy. That's how it was in the test event, at least. Once it was one big group, it was the chillest bike ever. It was just a bit getting position and trying to stay out of the danger, because when the group is big, it's always a bit more dangerous. But yeah, it was good watts.
Okay, the 2 by 8 minutes, you take turns?
Yeah, yes.
How long is the...
So we did now, we usually do 30 seconds each. Okay. And then depends if someone feels better than someone else, someone goes longer or someone goes less long, but we just did 30 seconds each on Thursday, and it works well. As I said, Vasco and me were quite similar bike levels, so it works well.
Yeah, what do you think will happen in Paris, on the bike? Do you think about it? Will it come together in Tokyo, or in the test event? What do you expect?
I think it can go either way. Okay. It really depends. Paris, the swim, it's quite different than other swims with the current, which might break the group up a bit more. And for sure there's gonna be people more interested in going for the breakaway than they were in the test event. I would think the French, in the test event, they were racing each other for that spot on the French team, where now they don't race each other anymore. No, they race everyone else. So I guess they will go all in for breakaway. That's their chance of getting the gold medal. But then it usually is also the second group. There's guys that really want to go full gas on the bike to try and close the gap. So it's gonna be hard until it comes together, or it's gonna be hard all the way if it's not come together, and still then a lot can happen on the run. But I have no idea. It can go either way. I reckon it really depends on how the swim goes, who maybe has a good swim, who has a weak swim, and then it's just gonna be a hard bike.
She felt quite good.
How with the legs? No.
No, the soreness was good.
What with the
Just
powers?
got very hot. The 3 minutes from like 3:05 to 4:45, and then 3:11, 3:11.
So not too bad. It's a bit steady.
Yeah, good steady, I think. We did with Alberto.
I saw the last one. He asked that.
Because
He
yeah,
asked if he could join.
Vasco wanted someone else.
Ah, yeah.
It was getting a bit hot, I think.
That worked out well then.
Very sweaty.
Very, very sweaty. Used to it. It's good.
Yeah.
Refreshing. Oh, it's very hot. Huh? I could feel it like after that first 8 when you like stop. All of a sudden like got very
That
hot.
was enough for today.
For me, it just drains the energy.
Yeah, that's why we did progression really fast.